This is 7 News, the voice of the Central West.
Tonight, a man who killed a 9-year-old boy in a hit and run has seriously injured another pedestrian. An armed robbery turned wild. Police pursuit leaves 2 people behind bars.
I'm Daniel Gibson. Later on this news hour, Erin Patterson jailed for life. All the reaction as history is made in Victoria. And a New Zealand fugitive killed in a shootout with police.
7 News begins now.
Good evening. There is outrage tonight from a grieving dad whose son was killed in a hit and run in Dubbo. The man jailed for leaving the 9-year-old to die on the side of the road has been arrested after allegedly running down another person. The father says he's ropeable and believes the arrested man hasn't learnt his lesson.
Down a busy Dubbo street, bedlam. 3 people injured after a car crashed into a parked vehicle. It then ploughed into a fence and collided with an elderly man who was standing on the footpath. The man in his 80s was found laying on the roadway when emergency crews arrived. He suffered a severed thumb, fractured ribs, punctured lungs and a broken femur. His injuries allegedly caused by the same man who killed a young boy in a hit and run 21 years ago.
I just can't believe that someone else has to go through the same thing with the same bloke.
Kevin Saul lost his 9-year-old son, Brendan, in 2004. He was riding his bike in Dubbo when he was hit by a car driven by the accused, who was at the time unlicensed and under the influence of drugs.
Failed to stop and took off to a house around High Street where he'd borrowed the car from earlier in the day and hidden the roof.
He was later charged, but
the magistrate found him not guilty of dangerous driving and negligent driving and just found him guilty of failing to stop and driving unlicensed, which he received a suspended sentence and good behaviour bond.
More than 2 decades later, the man is facing more driving charges, including dangerous driving causing injury and negligent driving. To add to the list of charges, at the time of the crash, the 37-year-old was arrested on an outstanding warrant, accused of breaking into a home.
It's a terrible indictment that someone like this is still out and about creating problems for other families.
And let's bring in Hamish Southwell now. And Hamish, you have a condition update on those that were injured.
Maddie, of the 3 people who were treated at the scene by paramedics, 2 of them were rushed to hospital. The elderly man who was hit and found laying on the road has been flown to Westmead, while an 83-year-old woman has been discharged after suffering head injuries. As for the 37-year-old driver accused of hitting them, he's tonight behind bars after being refused bail, the attention now turning to his next court hearing on Wednesday.
We need them to be our saviours, to be looking after us.
So, Maddie, a passionate plea there from a grieving father who's ramping up his pressure on the judicial system. Maddie?
Indeed. Thanks for the update, Hamish. That's Hamish Southwell reporting there for us tonight. A 37-year-old man is behind bars and a teenager is facing serious charges after a wild chase took police from Dubbo to Coonabarabran. Kimberly Lambourne has the details on this for us. And Kim, the pursuit started following an armed robbery at a local service station.
That's right, Maddie. Police were called to Hawthorne Street after reports the pair, armed with a machete, were attempting to steal a car. The 17 and 37-year-old assaulted and threatened 2 men before driving away. Police then initiated a pursuit on Cobra Street. Officers say the duo threw objects from the car and drove at and damaged police vehicles. Road spikes were then used to stop the car on the Newell Highway at Coonabarabran. Both have been charged with various offences related to the incident. The 37-year-old has been denied bail. Meanwhile, the 17-year-old fronted Children's Court yesterday.
Thanks for the update, Kim. That's Kimberly Lambourne reporting there for us tonight. A clean-up operation is underway at a service station and mechanic in Binnaway. The business went up in smoke on Saturday morning. It took rural fire service crews several hours to eventually bring the blaze under control. However, the building was destroyed. It's a significant blow for not just the business owners, but locals who have lost their only service station in town. A man is recovering from a freak crash on the Great Western Highway, with onlookers capturing the moment a car flipped onto its roof. The incident shut off an eastbound lane for hours from midday yesterday. Long weekend light traffic followed as Sydney-siders crawled over the mountains. A man and woman have been charged after they allegedly led police on a high-speed pursuit in Wellington. The stolen Holden Commodore reached speeds of up to 150 kilometres an hour after being spotted with handwritten number plates. It was later dumped on the side of the road. A 47-year-old man from Blaney was tasered after he fled from officers on foot, while the 32-year-old female passenger was also arrested. A major union is tonight joining the growing chorus of voices demanding a public takeover at the old Lithgow railway depot. 7 News understands multiple private offers are being worked through, ramping up pressure on the government to make a bid.
As Lithgow's loco prepares for a changing of the guard,
everyone in Lithgow agrees that the loco needs to be brought back into public ownership.
time to return to manufacturing nostalgia is quickly running out.
It's a complete train wreck if the government doesn't step in.
Tonight, a major union is speaking up.
It's a prime opportunity, and if we don't do the right thing, I don't think we'll have this opportunity for quite some period of time.
The vision of federal government buyout while the state runs and leases out the site to build these, although it's not yet clear if both are on board.
Our future is in their hands.
The opposition, though,
it was the Labor government that privatised the workshop here in Lithgow, and I think it's important that the Labor government fixes the wrong that it did here in the community and buy it back.
a return to pre-2003 before all those workers were laid off.
We need the jobs.
The depot is just 2 hours from Sydney and already connected on the rail line. Behind closed doors, rare pieces of infrastructure equipped to deal with the next generation of rail fleet.
It could be used for maintenance, it could be used for manufacturing, building new trains.
We've been told a bid by a private rail firm has been rejected. Now it sets up the very real predicament that the site behind me could be used for an entirely different purpose. The fear it could be land banked.
This is going to cost the community jobs if it's not going to be used for the purposes as to what it was built for many, many decades ago.
And sit with lost potential for years to come. Declan Milton, 7 News.
Storm season is officially underway as emergency services warn the region to stay prepared for the months ahead. Last year, the SES were called out to 29,000 incidents across the state, with wild weather more likely from now until April.
Our message is really quite simple. It's be prepared, it's prepare early, it's prepare when the sun is out, not wait until the last minute and get caught out.
The best advice is to spend a weekend getting the home and the backyard ready by tying down loose items and cleaning out gutters. Local farmers are sharing their frustrations as the EPA confirms the presence of forever chemicals in one of the region's critical waterways. Stuck in limbo, they're now waiting for answers on what this means for their livelihoods.
It's the picturesque scene of the Central West countryside, but just below the surface, something has landholders on edge.
It's probably going to be a matter of how we live with it.
New testing by the EPA confirming the presence of forever chemicals, PFAS and PFOS, in the Blubbula River, this time downstream in Canowindra. For Sam Statham, whose farm and winery backs onto the river, this newest development confirming what he already knew.
They still don't really know where it's coming from.
A lack of information leaving him in the dark.
Is it getting into our plants? Is it getting stuck in the clay? Is it going to leach back into the groundwater? So hopefully we can get some information about that.
It comes just months after an Australian first study investigated PFAS and PFOS concentrations in the river. Lead researcher Ian Wright raising the alarm.
How can you document the impact or the risk of a contamination and disease in a population if you don't measure it?
While the results indicate water in the river is still safe to drink, it's done little to ease locals' concerns.
I spoke to the EPA and they don't actually know what is the long-term accumulation of PFAS in irrigation water.
now calling for more testing to track the health of the river.
If we can just continue the monitoring and see that there's a downward trend, then I think we'll all feel a lot better.
Kimberly Lambourne, 7 News.
Portland practically has a new state-of-the-art SES building following a more than $300,000 facelift. A new roof, full kitchen makeover and furniture are all part of the mix for the unit's 25 members to enjoy. And don't worry, they'll be busy responding to emergencies too, as the unit clocks up more than 400 responses to emergencies in the last 5 years. Well, Kirstie joins us now for a look at today's weather. And Kirstie, gee, it was windy out there today.
Yeah, a bit of mix of everything for our Monday, Maddie. Hello to you and good evening, everyone. We also had a bit of showery weather and unsettled conditions for parts of the central west this morning. Young and Grenfell picking up just over 3 millimetres of rain. That was early, between about 5 and 6:30, with most of the unsettled weather clearing by 7 a.m. And then we were back to sunshine. It's been a lovely day for most of us. We had quite windy north to northwesterly winds, though, as Maddie said, gusting up to more than 40 kilometres an hour in the west. And at the same time, a line of storms passed straight through Gilgandra. They were very localised, though, not affecting much of our region. A 31-degree day in Cobar. With those winds, though, it felt quite a lot cooler. Tonight, wet weather increasing. I'll tell you how much rain we're expecting this week a little later on, Maddie.
Thanks, Kirstie. We'll see you in a few minutes. Still to come in 7 News, conservationists battle to save one of the region's tiniest species. And the trundle turns it on for Bush Tucker Day.
A little later on this news hour at 6:30, Erin Patterson jailed for life but given a shot at parole as the sole survivor issues a powerful message. Also tonight, fists fly as a jailed bikie is targeted, and raw anguish and grief, an officer shot by fugitive Desi Freeman is laid to rest.
Welcome back. One of the region's tiniest creatures is in the spotlight as conservationists battle to save the threatened species. The pukila was recently found in Gebang National Park, just outside of Parkes, for the first time in 30 years. Together, the New South Wales Government and Zoos Victoria are on a mission to ensure the native species stays for generations to come.
Noticed really significant declines, so we are concerned about the species across its whole range.
Research projects will be continuing in the region to help boost populations across the country. Trundle has spent the day recovering after thousands descended on the town for their annual Bush Tucker Day. It was an event filled with live music and bush cooking, with over 2,000 people joining in the festivities. The day highlighted the best food and entertainment the region has to offer, also raising money for local community groups. Organisers already gearing up for a bigger and better event in 2026. Still to come in 7 News, Orange Emus win the Blouse Cup in the derby of the decade and a Golden Point thriller to decide the Peter McDonald Premiership.
It took 15 rounds, 4 weeks of finals and extra time to boot, but the Peter McDonald Premiership finally has a champion. The absolute best in bush footy was on display as Forbes Magpies faced Dubbo Sims in the ultimate decider.
Separated by just 1 point all season, so it was no surprise their final clash came down to this. Forbes and Sims' historic rivalry reignited from the first whistle. Magpies marquee man Chad Porter put up the showdown's first points, before Zach Williams had an unforgettable start to his first grade grand final debut. Tries to Mitch Cleary and Farron Lamb tied the scores 10-all at half-time. Dubbo banked the next two through Jeremy Thurston and Billy Singh. Forbes were fast with the reply, Trey Merritt and Harrison Leadbitter levelling the scoreboard again. 22-all as the siren sounded. After 2 intense periods of extra time, the PMP would come down to Golden Point. Finally, the Fishies had their moment to finish it. 23-22, thanks to Jeremy Thurston's brilliant boot.
Just get my foot to it. I did it. I went straight for the post. That's why he's at our club. He comes up with big plays at the right time. So there's a great.
Your 2025 Peter McDonald Premiership champions, Dubbo Sims.
That's the best feeling of my life.
I'm just so proud of all the boys. Massive effort. Over 90 minutes of footy, so phenomenal.
Well, it's a fairy tale ending for the Fishies. Their money man, Jeremy Thurston, stepping up to give all Dubbo Sims dads and their families the perfect Father's Day present.
It's bigger than us now. Like, we're just here for the kids, really. They absolutely love it, so you can't put a price on that.
Tamara McGregor, 7 News.
The Fishies' first grade sides weren't the only ones celebrating. Sims under-18s also taking home the chocolates. A double from Maddox Barton and an all-round team effort of 7 tries saw Dubbo cruise past Bathurst Panthers, securing the Tom Nelson Premiership 34 points to 8. In reserve grade, the mighty Nyngan Tigers roared right in the face of home side Dubbo Macquarie, storming to the title. Nyngan heading home with the reserve grade premiership 16 points to 8 over the Raiders. Now, emus can't fly, but they can sure soar. After losing their first skipper in the first half of the Central West Rugby Union Grand Final, the Bush Chalks bounced back against Orange City to win the Blouse Cup in the derby of the decade.
Emu's inspirational leader, smiling and safe after putting it all on the line for his side. Charlie Henley's sacrifice certainly made worthwhile. It started with Harry O'Malley before Angus Cudmore went cruising down the sideline.
Beautiful ball to Cudmore. Emus are in again.
Henley made the most of a maul. Then disaster struck. Emu's fearless captain out for the rest of the match with a severe head knock. Harry West and Dylan Ryan capitalised and finally gave Lions fans a reason to roar. But Harry O'Malley was hungry for more. The score 25-10 at half-time. Ryan was back after the break. Hamish Sinclair put his hand up next, before Ash Goddard spun across for City and Harry Cookler was hard to stop. But it was too late for City as the final whistle sounded. Orange Emus crowned Blouse Cup champions.
It's hard to put words on. It's unreal. So proud of our boys. So proud of them to dig in and hold on there.
After 5 long years, Orange Emus have finally put their hands on the Blouse Cup trophy. It may not have been the send-off that their skipper had hoped for, but his men have certainly made him proud.
Everything was for him today, and I hope he's all right, and we bloody love him, so this one's for him. To actually win it, it's unreal.
Not only the end to an incredible career for their captain, but also their coach.
It's been massive for me, being a player and a coach of this club, so I'm just so proud.
The grand final, baby!
Tamara McGregor. Seven News.
In the other grades, Dubbo dominated grand final day, the Roos claiming 3 of the 5 premierships on offer. Colts kicked things off with a big win over Bathurst Bulldogs. In third grade, Emus upset minor premiers Dubbo, while in the women's decider, the Roos claimed their 4th consecutive Ferguson Cup premiership. In second grade, Dubbo came from 4th on the ladder to topple Bathurst for the title. And still to come in 7 News, Kirstie will be back with your all-important local weather forecast. Stick around for us.
Good evening once again. Warm winds and warm temperatures have shifted across much of New South Wales for our Monday, but we will be reverting straight back to winter weather this week with a low pressure system and a cold front moving through. This low is pushing tropical moisture straight through into New South Wales, which will act as fuel for this upcoming wet weather. Our rainfall totals are set to increase late into Tuesday and early on Wednesday, along with storms at the same time as this cold front barrels through, bringing cool southerly westerly winds and cold temperatures into the state. But the system looks strongest tomorrow and into Wednesday before easing later in the week. Rainfall totals across the next 7 days for the Central West quite high, sitting around 60 to 75 millimetres. And we're expecting rain overnight tonight to trickle into the early hours of tomorrow morning, then ramp up again in the evening. So quite a wet day of weather for most of our region. 20 to 40 millimetres of rain, heaviest in the west. Grey skies, but light and quite mild winds sticking around. A top of 16 degrees in Bathurst, 20 degrees in Forbes. Quite a big drop on today. Some of us dipping by about 8 to 10 degrees compared to today's temperatures. Mudgee 18 and Young a maximum of 20. Now, this forecast rainfall will remain intermittent and heavy into Wednesday. The highest rain totals during the early hours of the morning. Again, we could see between about 20 and 45 millimetres of rain. Condobolin, the high teens with just 14 degrees, while Bathurst dips to 15. Strong westerly winds around 2 up to 35 kilometres an hour. Now, while the showers will start clearing on Thursday, the cold southwesterly winds are expected to stick around. Temperatures very cool, 15 in Dubbo, 16 degrees in Nyngan, just 11 at the top in Lithgow. If we take a look, though, to the next 7 days, all eyes are on Friday and the weekend. Temperatures warming up, our brief period of wintry weather not lasting too long, but boy, do we have some wet conditions and cooler temperatures to shiver through first, Maddie.
It'd be nice if that 9 degrees was an error.
I know, that would be lovely. We can just pretend, put some jumpers on and feel like 19.
Look forward to the weekend. Thanks, Kirstie. See you later. And that's your local news for tonight. Thanks for your company. In just a moment, Dan has all your latest national and international news. Have a lovely night. We'll see you again tomorrow night from 6 o'clock. I'll see you there.
Pig card.
NIMH.com. This is 7 News, the voice of the coast.
Tonight, our region's timber mills facing an uncertain future. A family's mission to spark mental health conversations.
I'm Daniel Gibson. Later on this news hour, Erin Patterson jailed for life. All the reaction as history is made in Victoria, and a New Zealand fugitive killed in a shootout with police.
7 News begins now.
Good evening. The North Coast timber industry is reeling tonight over news some mills could be shut down for good. Hundreds of jobs could be lost to make way for the Great Koala National Park. Liz Penny is in Coffs Harbour for us tonight. And Liz, tens of thousands of hectares of new land has been claimed for the park. So does the timber industry think it can survive?
Look, like the rest of us, the mill owners and operators only heard about the state government's decision when it was announced publicly. Now, it is expected that at least 300 jobs will be lost almost immediately, but the timber industry suspects that number could be much greater. The Great Koala National Park will span 500,000 hectares and put hundreds of jobs on the chopping block.
I really honestly never thought they would take the whole lot.
A Father's Day bombshell for mill workers from Port Macquarie to Grafton.
Some contractors, I think, were rang up yesterday and said, don't come to work Monday. You know, that's horrible.
Almost instantly, 300 jobs will be lost.
We know that 6 mills out of 25 are now unsustainable and will be closed down by the government. That is a fact.
But the Clarence MP says this will be death by 1,000 cuts, costing jobs in transport, harvesting and dozens of other industries in the supply chain. Though it's uncertain what the outfall will be, it could be catastrophic for this sawmill at Thora, passed down from 3 generations and employing 30 people.
It has the potential to be completely devastating and could just wipe us out completely.
Mill operators still working today, their fate uncertain.
There's plenty of other mills around, so who goes or who stays, I'm just unsure.
Some mills harvesting logs from private property may be slightly shielded, but many are 100% reliant on forestry, half expecting the axe to fall.
If you're just starting to build a house, guess what? Timber will go through the roof.
Overseas timber imports into New South Wales are expected to explode to meet demand.
Where we're importing our timber from has little or no regulatory control, and it is literally clear felling to supply New South Wales.
The Nationals say the Koala Park is based on faulty sites.
Of course, when the fire seasons do come, and they will come, that there will be a greater loss of our national icon than what we see in a well-managed state forest.
Liz Penny, 7 News.
Some graphic footage has been released of a brutal bashing inside Kempsey Jail. It centres around bikie associate Jake Skelton when he first arrived. On his first day, at 6:30. It's the stretch of road in Lismore that desperately needs to be fixed. Tonight, residents are being asked to have their say on what happens next with Dunoon Road. Medina Wells has been looking at the road today and can confirm it's just getting worse.
Maddie, simply patching the potholes is no longer a feasible option, with a $5 million grant as the starting point. Council are hoping the results of a community survey will show just how much community support there is to fix the road.
Potholes and uneven roads. The worst road in Lismore, Dunoon Road.
So it needs more than just building back to what it was, and so Lismore City Council's applying for a grant through the federal government.
Council are calling for $5 million worth of works, including new roundabouts and guttering, as well as providing a safer stretch of road.
Safety for the road, first of all, less potholes, less rims being damaged, provide turning movements for the trucks that go into the cattle sale yards there, provide clear delineation for parking and traffic lanes.
Council are asking for community feedback, encouraging residents to jump online and tell the government why the upgrades are so desperately needed.
It was quite dangerous because there were so many potholes, and the way the beautiful trees come over the road, it shades it so you can't see the holes.
Recalibrate the camber on the roads, because if you have a better camber on the roads, then they seem to last longer.
Residents have till the end of the month to fill out the survey before the application is submitted.
And then we'll be submitting that to the federal body. It's a Safer Local Roads Infrastructure Program grant that's out at the moment. We then need to wait for them to assess it. So it's 3 months, it's 6 months.
Medina Wells, 7 News.
A community campaign to upgrade a notorious Port Macquarie black spot has taken another small step forward tonight. The petition calls on the state government to fix the corridor between Wrights Road and Lake Road. It's collected the required 10,000 signatures in just a fortnight.
Very clear to see that getting 10,000 signatures in such a short space of time shows how important this project is for our region.
The local member says the project needs to be a priority so the city can cope with future growth.
$264 million into the new hospital. We've got a university and a school there that every day is impacted by this. Enough's enough. They've got to listen to us in Parliament.
The upgrade will be debated in Parliament over the coming weeks. Port Macquarie Mental Health Services opened its doors after new renovations were complete. The $100,000 upgrades hope to strengthen the region's youth counselling services.
A place for young people to share their struggles. Headspace Port Macquarie is now operating with brand new facilities, offering more support for some of our region's most vulnerable.
So we've added additional rooms here. They've also been refurbed, which just makes them more youth-friendly and more coming to the centre.
We saw around 3,500 consults right here in Port Macquarie at Headspace, and that's a 47% increase since last year. Now, that's alarming.
The service deals with many of the stresses impacting young Australians.
The floods impact our young people with regards to isolation. They don't necessarily have those social connections that they normally would.
Social media is a cesspit. I wouldn't want to be a young person today. I'd like to see strong controls on social media. But the fact is, it's here to stay, and we need to look after our young people.
The team says the renovations are a step in the right direction, but more needs to be done.
There is need for more funding in this space, but more so, we need more clinicians, more GPs, more psychiatrists.
With the new upgrades finished, Headspace will welcome more young people through the doors, offering a friendly chat and a shoulder to lean on. Sarah Patience, 7 News.
A family is on a mission to spark mental health conversations and spread awareness about suicide. They hope their voice will help break the silence and remind the community that help is one phone call away.
Step by step, this family is turning heartbreak into hope.
I've actually lost 3 family members to suicide. So if we can promote it any way we can, get people to talk.
Walking 9 kilometres, one for every life lost to suicide each day. It's the leading cause of death for Australians between the ages of 15 and 44.
We lose too many people every day feeling like that they can't voice how they feel.
This Wednesday marks World Suicide Prevention Day, a time to remind us to reflect, connect and check in. For Emily and Angela, the cause is close to their heart.
I lost my cousin to suicide 2 years ago, and that was the worst day of my life, getting that phone call.
Walking with a simple but life-saving message.
Talk to anyone. Someone will listen.
More than 54,000 Australians attempt to take their life each year, and the impact is felt far and wide.
As I've lived through it, so I know exactly what family members feel.
Emily and Angela are hopeful their story encourages someone struggling to reach out.
We didn't know that he was struggling, and he taught us that it really is okay to not be okay. And more people really need to know that.
1.4 million Australians contact Lifeline each year. It's not weak to speak. Lily O'Brien, 7 News.
And if you or anyone you know needs support, you can contact Lifeline on 13 11 14. We're being warned to prepare for more wet weather with the storm season now underway. The result of severe weather has already been felt this year. Homes have been flooded, trees have been brought down, and there's been numerous power outages too. The forecast is suggesting higher than average rainfall this spring, with severe storms also likely. Last season, the New South Wales SES responded to more than 29,000 storm-related incidents. Nearly 2,000 of those were in the northern rivers. And staying on all things weather, it's time now to check in with Kirstie on today's weather. And Kirstie, mostly fine, a bit of a breeze up and down the coast.
That's right, Maddie. No storms today. Hello, everybody. It was a lovely and settled start to the morning, and it certainly remained that way for most of the day. Light winds this morning, not too gusty, though. That did change, as Maddie said, mid this afternoon, with that northeasterly breeze strengthening. Temperatures were really quite the main feature of the day. 28 degrees for Kempsey, very warm for September. 26 through Coffs Harbour, into Grafton, and for the Northern Rivers at Lismore too. We reached those maximums around 3:30 this afternoon. Tomorrow, similar conditions, another warm day, but becoming cloudy. Showers increasing for parts of the mid-coast too. I'll tell you how much rain we're expecting this week in our full forecast a little later, Maddie.
Sounds good. Thanks, Kirstie. We'll see you in a few minutes. Still to come in 7 News, the organ donation that gave the gift of sight. And Manning Valley High School students showcase their HSC major works.
A little later on this news hour at 6:30, Erin Patterson jailed for life but given a shot at parole as the sole survivor issues a powerful message. Also tonight, fists fly as a jailed bikie is targeted, and raw anguish and grief, an officer shot by fugitive Desi Freeman is laid to rest.
Manning Valley Anglican College students have had the opportunity to...
Does your phone feel new because the commercials say it's new? Or because it does something that's actually new.
Gemini, I have a heart-shaped face. Which of these would look best on me?
The frames with oval lenses will soften and balance your features, so try them first.
Google Pixel 10 Pro.
This is your hunger calling. Can I get the new Big Arch with 2 layers of hot, juicy quarter-pound beef and that tangy Big Arch sauce? Did you get one yet? New Big Arch for Big Macca's hunger.
Put your hands up in the air. Let me see you move. Make your head back. If you like to party, put your hands up in the air. Let me see you move. Make your head bang, bang, bang. If you like to party, put your hands up in the air. Bang, bang, bang.
Imagine what you could be buying instead. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.
3, 2, 1, here we go! Live a life full of flavor. Let your life take shape. Hey! Flavor just for me. Hey!
On its shapes. Flavor you can see.
Shapes.
Imagine what you could be buying instead. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.
With apps like Google Docs and Meet, get any job done all on your phone. That's working from anywhere with Google Workspace. Showcase their HSC major works, the final step before they tackle the HSC exams early next month.
A year's worth of work boiled down to this final submission. These Year 12 students have put their heart and soul into their pieces.
Well, I've always loved history, specifically war in history. So I kind of took that love and turned it into my major work.
The major work is a project students complete over the entire course of their Year 12 subject. It's a body of work they change, edit and chip away at for 12 months.
Because it's a huge feat to actually achieve these major works. It takes a lot of time. It's a real process. It just doesn't happen like in a couple of weeks.
The major works are projects students juggle along with their other subjects. Some students often having more than one major work.
Definitely time management with other subjects since Year 11 and 12.
Some students often having more than one major work.
Definitely time management with other subjects since Year 11 and 12. Definitely time management with other subjects since Year 11 and 12 is so content heavy. We've got to fit a lot of things in. It's quite difficult to prioritise that over a piece that we're so passionate about.
With most major works now submitted, it marks the last milestone before HSC. Final exams kick off Thursday, October 16th.
It's definitely a bit nerve-wracking, but knowing this is done gives us a bit of confidence. We've had trials, which gave us a little taste of what it's going to be like.
Obviously we had trials a couple of weeks ago, but it's just kicked up a gear now.
Medina Wells, 7 News.
A regional artist is calling for more people to sign up as organ donors. Joel Jensen had an eye transplant as a newborn and says without it, he wouldn't be where he is today.
It's been 26 years since Joel Jensen had his eye transplant, and since then it's rare to see him without paints or brushes in his hand.
I originally started was just doodling in a book,
as just rough sketches, and it developed from there.
Mr. Jensen says art is a great way to express emotion, especially living with a disability. The corneal transplant changed his life and opened up many exciting opportunities, such as owning his own art gallery and being able to teach others.
It gives a different form of life. Made me look at life differently. And
the artist's mother remembers exactly how relieved she was when she got her then 2-week-old son back in her hands.
His little eye looked like he had a circular train track with the amount of stitches he had. It was, I know, something like 180 odd stitches.
There are just under 1 million people in New South Wales who are registered organ donors. Mr. Jensen is living proof of how the procedure can be life-changing.
I've gone here for a couple of years now, and Joel has really helped me get my painting especially a lot better, my weaker areas.
Mr. Jensen's mother remembers being told the eye donation was coming from someone in their 70s. She says the gift from a stranger gave her son a second chance.
We could just about say that Joel's, part of him is nearly 100 or maybe just past 100. So, yeah, it is a pretty crazy thing to sort of, think about.
There's always a need for corneas to save people's sight, to give people sight, for heart valves to save lives.
Amy O'Halloran, 7 News.
Still to come in 7 News, the nation's best kart race is on show in Coffs Harbour. And who is the first team into the Group 3 Rugby League Grand Final?
Tomorrow on Sunrise, Selena Gomez, Martin Short and Steve Martin are dropping in to Brekkie Central.
Can't wait. And how would you like to win free Maccas for a whole year? Be watching for your chance to score this epic prize.
See you in the morning.
Port Macquarie will have to take the long way around to defend their Group 3 Rugby League first grade title. The Old Bar Pirates hanging on in the major semi to be the first team into the season decider.
Coming out strong, the Pirates secured the lead early, bagging the first try, forcing the Sharks to play catch-up. Some quick hands sending Old Bar winger Zane Schutz over in the corner. The move pushed the Pirates into a comfortable lead. Old Bar taking a 12-6 lead into the sheds. But in the second half, the Sharks hit back early through a try to winger Liam Longbottom, the kick levelling the scores. But the Pirates powered through with a crash play from Mick Henry. Old Bar took the 2 with a boot of Samuel Eggins, bringing them home and securing their spot in the grand final.
I thought we started the second half well and then just had like a 10-minute lapse there, and they put a couple of quick tries on us. But yeah, no, the boys dug deep when we come home.
Yeah, it was tough. Dingo just wanted it more. They ran harder, they defended harder, they just were very enthusiastic, and we just weren't good enough on the day.
The Sharks to now face Macleay Valley this Sunday for a chance at redemption in a fortnight. And for the Pirates, it's smooth sailing into the grand final. Sarah Patience, 7 News.
The newly upgraded Coffs Kart Racing Club has proven a smash hit at the Australian Championships. A $2 million plus spend on the upgraded track and clubhouse, a game changer, hosting almost 350 Australian and overseas races in the ultimate round of the national finals at the weekend. It's now widely considered a world-class venue, winning the award last night for hosting the best round for 2025.
We've got drivers that come from overseas and compete in our championship, and drivers from Australia that go and compete in overseas championships, and they always say that the Australian one is the most competitive.
The winners across the 8 classes were drawn from New South Wales, Queensland and WA. Halliday's Point Public School is calling for a new playground and fitness park. The school is expected to soar past 400 students over the next decade. The new park would ensure the region continues to keep up with demand.
That children need to be active, keeps their brains active, keeps them happy, and also keeps them focused in the classroom. So it's really important that we support this, get behind this program, make sure we can support our little people as they move forward in education.
Local member Tanya Thompson visited the school today to back their $300,000 Club Grants Category 3 application. The funding applications are expected to open in late November. Still to come in 7 News, Kirstie will be back with your weather forecast. We'll see you in just a couple of minutes.
Good evening, everyone. Warm winds and warm temperatures have shifted across the state for our Monday, but we will be reverting back to winter weather this week. A low pressure system and a cold front will move through. Yo, bro.
Focus. Come on. Hold it. 3, 2, 1.
Support your muscles and reduce fatigue. Feed your progress with YoPro. High in natural protein, no added sugar.
Do you like it hot? Well, Carl's Jr. has you covered. Introducing the Hot Habanero Chicken Tender Burger. Big flavour, serious heat. Available only at Carl's Jr. for just $7.95. Carl's Jr. Eat like you mean it.
I pun with Ladbrokes because they have more ways to chuck on a multi than Glen Boss has cups to drink from.
Multi your way with Ladbrokes.
Go, you good thing. Go, you good thing. Chances are you're about to lose. Put your hands up in the air. Let me see you move. Make your head back. If you like to party, put your hands up in the air. Let me see you move. Make your head bang, bang, bang. If you like to party, put your hands up in the air. Bang, bang, bang.
Imagine what you could be buying instead. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.
Google Drive lets you easily search your files from anywhere. That's secure and accessible storage with Google Workspace.
This is what pre-flight mornings look like around here. Doing the coffee run, not the M1. Finding yourself the perfect park. So go on, take your pick from over 250 flights a week from Newcastle Airport. Ah, that's the Newey way.
Come on, Charlie. Go, Reese.
Go from balcony to backyard with Westpac's local home loan specialists. To get it done, it takes a little Westpac.
This low pushing tropical moisture right across the country, acting as fuel for upcoming wet weather. Rainfall totals will begin to increase through late Tuesday and into Wednesday with a chance of storms at the same time as a cold front moves through, bringing chilly southerly winds and a drop in temperatures. Now, this system will reach the coast on Wednesday, but mainly in lighter showers. Rainfall across the coming week, no more than about 5 to 15 millimetres. Taking a look at tomorrow, some patchy cloud turning to grey skies for the lower mid-coast tomorrow with showers of around 5 to 10 millimetres. Still very warm though. Taree, Nambucca Heads and Foster all tops of 24 degrees, up to the mid-20s in Coffs Harbour, then the high 20s through Evans Head and Casino as well as Grafton. A day of sunshine for the northern rivers too, 26 degrees in Tweed Heads. On the waters, winds are sitting around 20 to 25 knots. Our seas about 2 metres around Byron and Coffs and about 1.5 metres further south, and that swell sitting around 3 to 4 feet. Through to the middle of the working week, another unsettled day for many of us. It's looking cloudy to partly cloudy with storms in the south and very strong northwest to westerly winds. Another 5 to 7 millimetres of rain, but much warmer. Kempsey again jumping back to the high 20s. Byron Bay atop of 24 degrees, almost verging on summer-like temperatures for some of us. But then on Thursday, we'll feel that chill return, maximums dropping as much as 7 degrees degrees, certainly enough for us to feel a difference. It will be quite a sunny day though, particularly in the north, but along with those cooler maximums, we are set to shiver through some chillier winds. We're definitely expecting a little bit of everything for the week ahead, Maddie.
Yeah, what a mix.
Yeah.
Thanks for the update, Kirstie. See you later. And that's your local news for tonight. Thanks for watching. In just a moment, Dan has all your latest national and international news. Have a lovely night. I'll see you again tomorrow night from 6 o'clock. See you there.
This is 7 News, the voice of the New England.
Tonight, the SES battens down for storm season with catchments already wet. An investigation into a fatal crash during a police pursuit.
I'm Daniel Gibson. Later on this news hour, Aaron Patterson jailed for life. All the reaction as history is made in Victoria, and a New Zealand fugitive killed in a shootout with police.
7 News begins now.
Good evening. The State Emergency Service has all hands on deck for the start of storm season, and we're being warned it could be a bumpy ride. Wind and rain is forecast for later this week, and after such a wet winter, more flooding is also a risk.
Storm season is officially here.
So for the next 6 months, we're going to expect much more unsettled weather.
So this storm season, there's probably going to be a bit of a wet one again coming up.
For large parts of New South Wales, including much of New England, there's some concern. The past winter has been a wet one, and there's only so many places water can go.
Any rainfall that may come, the soil moisture is already so wet that rainfall can't absorb in.
Already saturated grounds means if it rains heavily now, it's more likely to flood.
It could potentially see some rises in the rivers and some localised flooding around.
The past couple of weeks of sun have allowed some moisture to escape, but we're on La Nina watch for the next few months, meaning this storm season it's likely we could see prolonged wet weather.
When the weather is good, we prepare for that terrible weather that we know will come.
Preparation is key. Download the SES app Hazards Near Me for the latest emergency updates.
Keeps you up to date. You get the push notifications if a warning is in your area, and then that way you can actually follow the advice as to what the app's saying.
Clear the gutters and be wary of where is and isn't prone to flooding. If the wind is picking up, tie down loose objects. And in the meantime, if you're in a place to put your hand up, your local branch could be in need of support.
So here in the northwest of the zone, we do have over 500 volunteers around the zone. We are always looking for more volunteers.
If you're caught in need of assistance, call the SES at 132 500. In a life-threatening emergency, dial 000.
And there's concern already wet grounds could lead to more flooding this summer. Juno Robertson joins us now. And Juno, what will that look like for our region?
Maddie, the Bureau of Meteorology says grounds are certainly wetter than usual for this time of the year. In Gunnedah and Tamworth, usually we see an average of 39 millimetres of rainfall for the month of August. This year we saw 2 to 2.5 times that.
Gunnedah and Tamworth, most of that rain, nearly 95% of that rain in August, fell over just 3 separate days.
The flood risk this summer is real and ongoing in some areas, with a minor flood warning still in place for the lower section of the Nemoi River. We're being urged to stay up to date with emergency warnings.
Thanks for the update, Juno. Juno Robertson reporting there for us tonight. And staying on all things weather, it's time now to check in with Kirstie. And Kirstie, we have heard about a fair bit of rain around, but today mostly fine.
Yeah, that's right for most of us, Maddie. Hello and good evening, everyone. A lovely settled start to our morning. Isolated rapid bands of rainfall did reach some of us around 9:30 this morning. It was very quick, and we certainly didn't see heavy totals, less than a millimetre in Tamworth and the same in Murrurundi. So most of the day was clear and sunny. Late this afternoon, a couple of showers returned on the southern plains and in the south around Corinne too. But otherwise, some gusty west to northwesterly winds. Very warm spring day otherwise. Moree, Narrabri and Gunnedah all tops of 25 and 23 degrees in Inverell. Becoming cloudy overnight. Some showers increasing though. I'll tell you how much rain we're expecting this week a little later on, Maddie.
Sounds good. Thanks for the update, Kirstie. See you shortly. Well, police are still waiting to interview the survivors of a fatal car crash at Scone. The stolen vehicle had been involved in a police chase when it left the road and crashed late on Saturday night. A 17-year-old boy was killed. The 14-year-old driver was flown to John Hunter Hospital. 3 backseat passengers, 2 aged 14 and a 25-year-old woman, suffered injuries that aren't life-threatening. Police said all the teenagers are from Tamworth. An independent review will be carried out into how the crash happened. Binnaway residents have been devastated by the loss of the town's only service station and mechanic business. It took RFS crews several hours to eventually bring the blaze under control, but the building couldn't be saved. Above average rainfall has lifted the entire New England northwest out of drought recovery. Farmer confidence remains high heading into summer, with our fields expected to remain green.
Looking lush as far as the eye can see, it's a familiar sight right across our region, and now the data is backing it up. Winter rain has been well received by those on the land.
The rain that we've had and a continued forecast, it's going to be good, into spring. So hopefully it keeps raining.
The DPI seasonal outlook shows a sea of green for our region. Above average rainfall, seeing the northern tablelands continue to be all in the non-drought category, while the northwest region is all out of recovery and likely to remain that way until the end of November. Compare that to September last year, with patches of drought-affected country still on the map.
Immediately we're looking into a very, very good spring and hopefully a better summer.
Production outlook across both regions remains strong heading into spring, despite some cropping and grazing areas experiencing waterlogging.
The conditions have been great. Look, it's a little bit of warmer weather, so things have dried out a little bit. So obviously the grass is taking off, and the stock are doing well at the moment.
High prices across northern New South Wales for lamb and mutton have been put down to a mix of good weather and supply down south.
I think it's a combination of the good season here and the poor season Riverina, Victoria and South Australia, and increased demand from overseas.
A lot of old season lambs in here today, but they're just looking forward to probably marking a few more lambs, and I think the market's going to remain fairly strong.
James Carter, 7 News.
More people are packing up and making the move from the city to the country. New data shows those from metropolitan areas are heading to the regions, with housing affordability and lifestyle the main attractions.
More space, housing affordability and employment opportunities. Regional areas offer lifestyle benefits many can't resist.
Just a bit more laid back than the cities, don't have to deal with the traffic all the time.
It's great for family, and I think more country people are more friendly too.
City dwellers seeking a tree change are heading to the bush. The latest Regional Movers Index data shows 26% more people are moving from the city to the country compared to those relocating from the regions to metro areas.
One of the main drivers has been the shift towards more hybrid workplaces.
Flexible work arrangements have enabled employees to live away from their place of work while accessing career opportunities that are available in the cities. Real estate agents noticing an influx of renters and buyers searching for properties in the area are relocating from the cities.
I think that's good. It's certainly growth for the area. And some of those folk are buying. Lots of them are renting. And
those who have made the move say cheaper housing, less traffic and a slower pace of life are among the reasons for going regional.
I like it quiet. I'm happy here in Tamworth. Yeah, it's lovely.
While infrastructure and services will need to keep up with the demand, it's a positive sign for regional population growth.
It's really rejuvenating and giving new lease of life to some places that have really been struggling with population decline or ageing population.
Demi Ball, 7 News.
RFS crews are preparing to ramp up hazard burns as the weather gets warmer. Volunteers have begun clearing around the Oxley Lookout in Tamworth ahead of a burn planned for later this month. They are brush cutting breaks around properties and the Skywalk construction area as they take every opportunity when the weather is right to prepare for the bushfire season.
Amount of rain that we've had, we've seen a lot of growth. We didn't have a huge fire season last year either, so there's a fair bit of growth left over from last season, and yeah, that'll contribute to any extra fuel there may be around.
The RFS has responded to a number of grass fires in recent days, with landowners urged to take the time now to prepare for the season ahead. Still to come in 7 News, the organ donation that gave the gift of sight, and construction underway to revamp Armidale's Creeklands.
A little later on this news hour at 6:30, Erin Patterson jailed for life but given a shot at parole as the sole survivor issues a powerful message. Also tonight, fists fly as a jailed bikie is targeted, and raw anguish and grief, an officer shot by fugitive Desi Freeman is laid to rest.
Go Harvey Norman footy finals time. Save over $700 and upsize to the TCL 98-inch QLED TV. Get the 75-inch QLED TV for under $1,200 and save on TCL soundbars from $247. Best prices guaranteed at Harvey Norman.
Imagine what you could be buying instead. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.
Work has started on a project to revitalise Armidale's Creeklands area. Contractors have moved in on the ground behind the Moncton Aquatic Centre. The $3 million project will focus on land opposite the TAFE campus and adjacent to Markham and Jumeric streets. The revamp will include picnic shelters, solar lighting, an exercise station, and the Spanish Arch will be rebuilt as well. The work is expected to take around 5 months to complete. Kundari Dam will host a new trial to improve water temperatures for native fish. Cold water pollution will be disrupted thanks to the installation of a new system to mix the colder water at the bottom of the dam with warmer water at the top. The cold water release from the bottom of the dam currently impacts inland rivers. The project should increase temperatures by up to 10 degrees in summer.
Long, large hose, for want of a better expression, a couple of kilometres long, and the last 500 metres is perforated, so that when it goes to the bottom of the dam storage, it then releases large amounts of oxygenated air.
$26 million has been allocated by the Australian government to address the impact on native fish breeding. A regional artist is calling for more people to sign up as organ donors. Joel Jensen had an eye transplant as a newborn and says without it, he wouldn't be where he is today.
It's been 26 years since Joel Jensen had his eye transplant, and since then it's rare to see him without paints or brushes in his hand.
I originally started was just doodling in a book as just rough sketches, and it developed from there.
Mr. Jensen says art is a great way to express emotion, especially living with a disability. The corneal transplant changed his life and opened up many exciting opportunities, such as owning his own art gallery and being able to teach others.
It gives a different form of life. It's made me look at life differently. And
the artist's mother remembers exactly how relieved she was when she got her then 2-week-old son back in her hands.
His little eye looked like he had a circular train track with the amount of stitches he had. It was, I know, something like 180 odd stitches.
There are just under 1 million people in New South Wales who are registered organ donors. Mr. Jensen is living proof of how the procedure can be life-changing.
I've gone here for a
couple of years now, and Joel has really helped me get my painting especially a lot better, my weaker areas.
Mr. Jensen's mother remembers being told the eye donation was coming from someone in their 70s. She says the gift from a stranger gave her son a second chance.
We could just about say that Joel's, part of him is nearly 100 or maybe just past 100. So, yeah, it is a pretty crazy thing to sort of, think about.
There's always a need for corneas to save people's sight, to give people sight, for heart valves to save lives.
Amy O'Halloran, 7 News.
Still to come in 7 News, Moree claims back-to-back Group 4 crowns. And the celebrations are still swinging at Quirindi after the Lions break their premiership drought.
Tomorrow on Sunrise, Selena Gomez, Martin Short and Steve Martin are dropping in to Brekkie Central.
Can't wait. And how would you like to win free Maccas for a whole year? Be watching for your chance to score this epic prize.
See you in the morning.
Quirindi is still in party mode after their courageous Lions broke a 33-year premiership drought in Central North Rugby. They faced Moree in the grand final, stunning the Bulls from the outset.
An unforgettable season, the Lions lifting the premiership trophy after 33 years. The streets of Quirindi flying the blue and white, locals still on a high.
Definitely still buzzy, still hearing all this morning that people are so excited and congratulating all the boys.
Fantastic. Fantastic for the boys and fantastic for the town.
We are seeing blue everywhere around town, so it's really, really exciting.
While the Lions did the hard work on the field, the whole town was behind them, making the trip to Moree to back their boys.
We had a supporters bus go out and we had a full stand. It was just a sea of blue and white. It was electric.
They worked really hard. There was more support for Quirindi, I think, than Moree.
It was incredible to see the amount of support that the town had. It's not just a 2-hour drive, it's a 3-hour drive all the way to Moree. And we filled over 2 grandstands.
The Lions came determined to win, getting in quick, scoring first in 4 minutes. Then another 3 before the Bulls had an opportunity to get on the board. The Lions dominating possession.
They always come out so hard and fast, so we were lucky to get the jump on them, and we just wanted to play a fast game and expansive, and we executed that really well.
Halfback and captain Daniel Calavassi named player of the match, scoring a hat-trick and assisted multiple tries. The final score, 57-36.
It's been a long drought, so the Quirindi faithful are all here and happy, and hopefully this sets up some success for a small town club and we can just keep it rolling.
Grace Cooper, 7 News.
Moree has claimed back-to-back premierships in Group 4 Rugby League, but not without a fight. At home at Borton Oval, they had to overcome a determined Bulldogs outfit to claim the title.
The Boars led the charge with a home ground advantage, Gunnedah vying for the top spot this year, putting it all on the line when it came to the defence. But the reigning champions were hard to beat, scoring the first try of the match less than 3 minutes in. Gunnedah caught off guard as fullback Stephen McGrady swept across the try line.
Into fourth tackle, they're going to go from dummy half and he's going to cross the fullback!
Fullback Dylan Lake securing Gunnedah's first try 10 minutes later.
Dylan Lake puts Gunnedah on the board!
But the ball was back at the Boars' end before half-time. The second half saw the Boars dominate again, winger Jake Tye scoring the final try in the last 5 minutes, sealing a 32-16 win, cementing their title as reigning premiers for the second year in a row.
And they score in the corner! The Moree Boys have won the grand final!
The victory even sweeter, with Moree losing its first 2 games at the start of the season. The comeback, one to remember.
How we started our season, to get through to the grand final and win it in that way makes that a little bit more special.
Demi Ball, 7 News.
The third time's a charm for the Armidale Blues. Finally, they're champions. They held off the Walker Rams in a close grand final to claim the New England Rugby Premiership.
After 3 long years of falling short, the Blues are back, lifting the Winner's Shield. It was a close start with both teams on the ball. The first try scored at the 15-minute mark by Fletcher Strong, shooting down the sideline. The Blues scored again, leaving the Rams fired up, putting points on the board through a penalty kick. Their first try came from Hamish Heaney just before half-time. Shifting the score to 12-10 at the change. The Blues maintained their moment in the second half. Piling on another 2 tries. And the Rams earned a penalty. Which took the score to 26-13 at the final whistle. The Blues finally collected their hard-earned prize.
There's not a lot of words that I can use to explain the feeling right now. This team has got to this point 3 times before today and fallen short.
Grace Cooper, 7 News.
And still to come in 7 News, Kirstie will be back with your all-important local weather forecast. Stick around for us.
Good.
Go Harvey Norman September sleep event for Sealy Posturepedic. Australian-made comfort and support, like the Acclaim Ashbury Foam Queen Mattress, just $14.99, or the Acclaim Plus Harrington, choice of 4 fields, $19.99, plus bonus standard local delivery at Harvey Norman now.
Come on, Charlie. Go Rays.
Go from balcony to backyard with Westpac's local home loan specialists. To get it done, it takes a little Westpac.
Imagine what you could be buying instead. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.
However these 6 symptoms of acid reflux feel to you, Gaviscon Dual Action acts in the stomach to neutralize acid fast and form a protective layer. For 6 symptoms, think Gaviscon.
Hey, this is a no-brainer.
Punt with Ladbrokes and get on same race multis early. As soon as fixed odds come out for every Group 1. Add multiple runners to stack your odds with Ladbrokes. Go, you good thing, go, you good thing. Chances are you're about to lose.
Good evening, everyone. Warm winds and warm temperatures have shifted across much of the state for our Monday, but we will be reverting back to wintry weather this week with a low pressure system and a cold front moving through. This low will push tropical moisture across the country, acting as fuel for this upcoming rainfall. Totals will begin to increase late on Tuesday with a chance of storms, then track through on Wednesday at the same time as this cold front moves through, bringing cold southerly winds and chilly temperatures. The system will be strongest into Wednesday, though, before easing significantly late in the week. But rain totals for the coming 7 days in the northern inland are still sitting around the 20 to 40 millimetre mark. Mostly cloudy skies tomorrow, but still mild. Temperatures in the low 20s with a mild northwesterly wind blowing. 19 for Tamworth, 21 in Walgett. Intermittent showers across the day with a relatively high humidity, 17 degrees in Armidale and 12 at the Barrington Tops. But that forecast rainfall will likely remain heavy into Wednesday with strong winds from the morning, gusting up to more than 40 kilometres an hour. Those winds shifting northwesterly to westerly, and that will drop our feels like temperature by quite a lot. A cloudy top of 16 degrees in Glen Innes. We could see up to 20 millimetres of rain and 21 for Murrurundi. But temperatures will start to drop on Thursday. Just a 14-degree day in Tamworth, returning to mid-winter weather, and even then, temperatures well below that average. Winds shifting southwesterly, bringing a very cool chill to the air. 10 degrees in Glen Innes, 13 degrees in Tenterfield. But this brief period of wintry weather won't last long. Temperatures starting to climb once again from Friday once we get through quite a wet 48 hours.
And looking good just in time for the weekend
yes,
too.
We love to see that.
Perfect. I'll take it.
Yeah.
Thanks, Kirstie. See you later. Now for a quick look at fuel prices across the region. If you're looking to fill up in Tamworth, the mobile sites are the peak for unleaded at 166. Transwest has unleaded for 179, and then in Armidale, Beauty Street Servo has unleaded for 181, and diesel is 187. Out in Gunnedah, the Kamilaroi Highway Shell is selling unleaded for 175, and that's along with the Railway Avenue Independent 2, and diesel there is 175. Lowe's and Medco are the best in Inverell, 177 for unleaded and 181 for diesel. And that's your local news for tonight. Thanks so much for your company. In just a moment, Dan has all your latest national and international news. Have a lovely night. We'll see you again tomorrow night from 6 o'clock. I'll see you there.